No, you definitely, you got to go pound pavement. You got to hunt. And of course, being when you laser focus on an asset class in a market, you get to know the players and you get to know, who owns what. So I've been able to, I've got good relationships. I've got phone numbers, emails. So if I wanted to just pick that brand, say, hey, look, like if there's ever a moment where you're looking to sell in that building, please let me know because I would love to buy it off you. Like I could easily go and do that. But you never know when that's going to come along. So you can't just wait for that to fall on your lap.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson. And today I'm joined by Nathan, who's been making some serious moves in the commercial real estate industry for the past 5 years now. Nathan, welcome in, man. Glad to have you.
Thanks, Micah. Good to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited for our talk today. I think there's a lot of value that you're going to bring on, especially for folks interested in the commercial real estate market there in Canada. So let's dive in. For folks who aren't familiar with you yet, tell us a little more about yourself. What's your main focus right now?
Yeah, of course. So thanks again. My name is Nathan Legg. I work for a commercial real estate brokerage called CDN Global, and I work for our national investment sales team. I'm here in Calgary, Alberta. I'm also licensed in British Columbia as well. I was previously working in the Vancouver office, and I solely focus on multifamily. That's all I look at every day, whether it be on the disposition or acquisition side.
Okay. So how'd you get to where you are today? What led you to real estate and ultimately what you do now?
Well, it was a pandemic-driven pivot. Prior to the pandemic, I had a travel business that obviously once the pandemic came around, it sort of tanked the industry for a bit. So I sold the business. And through that, with the clients I had, the network I had in Vancouver, I had people and mentors sort of guiding me into, look, you've got the spare time now. Have you ever thought about maybe investing in real estate, doing something different? And so I dipped my toe and I started buying into some multifamily properties and really enjoyed that process, obviously from an investor perspective and getting the passive income side of it and a different income stream. And then with that, I came an opportunity to turn it into a career. And I just jumped at the chance. I thought that was a fantastic idea. So obviously, yes, I started in the Vancouver office. And then 2 years ago, my fiance and I, we moved here to Calgary.
Okay. Love that, man. So you were an investor first, then you became an agent where you're doing this for other people. How does that help you in what you do now? Just that insight, because you don't just see things through one lens.
That's right. I think it's pretty straightforward. You look at it obviously like that. Yeah, that investor lens, that bias side. Like, what are you going to look at that's going to obviously either make you scared or excited about the opportunity? Of course, you underwrite the financials, and everyone's going to look at it differently at the building, at the numbers, what they care more about, location specific, if it's the cash on cash return specific. Obviously, we all love cash flow, of course, it's really important. But you do get that ability to, with the realtor as well, to almost empathize with the other side, because you would have that same hesitation if it was a building that you kind of, you did like, but you have concerns. I would understand it because I would be that same person. And of course, you have to balance that out, right? Because if you are representing the seller, of course you have a fiduciary duty. You've got to represent the seller, not the buyer. But you try to just, I guess you could say, balance the understanding on both sides, and it does allow me to look at it through, like you said, like a different lens, um, which I found to be, birds of a feather flock together, right? If you're talking to a fellow investor who's also happened to be a realtor, you can have a more candid conversation about an opportunity because they get it.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Right. Yeah, because it's what the other person's going through, and that's like a miniature superpower in a way, because
Yeah,
it changes your whole conversation, how you're talking to them, how you're just the way you present the information, because you've been the person who signed the documents, you've been the person who did the inspection walk, you've done it, you know exactly what they're fixing to go through, even on both sides. I'm not sure if you've sold any properties yet, but it just, your ability to know what that person is fixing to walk out is extremely valuable, in my opinion, for people that are going through it, because unless you do it every day, you don't really do it every day, right? Like, there's a benefit to being constantly around real estate because it changes fast. You need to know what's
yeah,
going on.
yeah.
Now, question about this is just a personal one. I'm not sure how much you know about the American multifamily market, but I'm interested in the differences. What's something that, if you can think of it, that stands out, that's different, that you deal with up there? And then just taking us through the process of how you're solving what you're solving.
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately don't know too much about the American multifamily market versus the Canadian one. I will say though that I know for certain that your cap rates, your going in yields are significantly better than they are here. I in Calgary, for example, let's just keep it really, really simple. Let's say it's a 20 unit property, value add, so it's 1970s vintage. It's got some room to grow, some optimization. A cap rate on that right now would be around 5.25%. Where I'm pretty sure in other parts of the states, it's double that or even higher. And then obviously in a major market like Vancouver, for example, it's even less. I mean, it could be 3.5%. Trying to get maybe an American to see why on earth would I invest into a place that's going to give me that sort of initial yield? That's a tough sell. I think too, in BC specifically, there is property transfer tax. So whenever you buy multifamily, you have to pay a transfer tax on title, and that is obviously at a cost to the buyer, and that isn't insignificant. I mean, it could be like 100 grand or more. So there's
Right.
that thought process comes into any negotiations. Um, Rent control is another one. I don't know if every state in America has rent control, or it's a bit more like the Wild West. But there's rent control in BC, no rent control in Calgary, so you get two very different investors here versus there. Um, I think those are I guess you could say the biggest differences. I'm assuming are different in the US versus the Canadian market, but definitely that cap rate, that initial yield. You guys have some tasty, very tasty yields.
I heard that, man. And it's a friend of mine, he's Canadian and invests up there in America. And we were talking about that transfer tax you were just mentioning. And I was blown away the first time I heard about it. Like,
Yeah,
it is a significant number that has to be factored into the math. That's how big it is. Like, it can kill a deal.
yeah,
That's how big it is. And I was really blown away by that, because again, not something that we have to deal with. And if everybody's got to deal with it, everybody's got to deal with it, right? Like, at least it's a rule all the way around. However, what it does to those cap rates, what becomes your normal operating environment and our quote unquote normal, that's where those shifts really happen. Just because in the end, math's math. And if there's numbers on one side, there's got to be numbers on the other side that
For sure.
balance that out or look better, or we're just going to run out of room. Now, for your Canadian investors where that's their normal, that's what they do, what's like a busy someone that's buying a lot? How much are they buying in a year, you would say?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Are we talking institutional capital here, like REITs? Are we going private?
Private. Let's go private. Like
Okay.
someone that you're gonna. I don't know if it's your ideal customer. I'm not sure exactly everybody you work
Yeah.
with, but someone
Yeah. No.
an investor you're working with regularly.
Sure.
What's like a good year for them?
A good year for them. So let's say Calgary here first. Private to private. You know what? It's funny. They always give me the target is never a dollar value. It's always a number of units. It's always like I need 100 units this year. I need 200 units this year. So I would say in Calgary, it's around 8 to 10 million. If you're looking at private to private, these guys who buy like the small multifamily, like 10 to 20 units value, well, they just bang these out, you know?
Yeah.
And then if you're getting to, let's say you're getting into British Columbia, and you obviously, it's a higher price per door in most of the major areas in BC. Again, still private to private. You're then around, 10 to 15 million, where they still want about 200, 300 doors, but obviously just costs more because it's just the price per door is more.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And what are their, like, in terms of the strategy? Is it long-term hold? They're going to keep this building for a long time. What are they typically trying to do with them?
Yeah, most guys are long-term buy and holds. There's lots of syndicators out there. There's obviously two general partners, and then the rest are limited, and they have a long-term lens. They buy these value add. They pump money into them, and then they refinance, and then they just do that with another building, another building. But yeah, long-term lens. Both in both markets, dealing with private to private. There's only a couple instances where, and normally it's when it's been like a distress situation, something's happened in their life that they just can't manage this building anymore. They've had to leave, they've had to move or something like that, where they've bought it within the last, let's just say 10 years, and they've had to sell it, but that's very rare. Most of the time, guys are looking to buy and they're holding it for long.
Gotcha. Now let's dig into your investment experience a little bit. Like, what are you looking for up there? What's your goal this year for your personal investments?
I would love, gosh, I've just been so busy on the actual work side. I do want to get more into getting that assets column a bit more full. I would love it for me, really, really small, this year, but I would love just to buy something in like that 10 to 20 door range. Just a building, really, really small here, because it's easily manageable. There's
Gotcha.
great property managers here in the city that I know would really do like a fantastic job. And yeah, it's a small target for me this year. I would say I'm getting married this year, so I've got other things more important to.
Congrats, man! Congrats.
Thank you.
No, that's cool.
Thank you.
Well, I mean,
So
one 10
yeah,
to 20 unit, that ain't nothing. You're operating in economies of scale at that point. Like you're utilizing that for a very specific reason. Now, how do you go about sourcing your deals? What do you think has to happen for that to come true? Does that make sense? Like, how do deals show up in your world? Are you getting to find them yourself and what it's getting presented to you, or are you looking a different way?
no, you definitely, you got to go pound pavement. You got to hunt, and of course, being when you laser focus on an asset class in a market, you get to know the players and you get to know who owns what. So I've been able to, I've got good relationships, I've got phone numbers, emails. So if I wanted to just pick that brand, say, hey, look, like if there's ever a moment where you're looking to sell in that building, please let me know because I would love to buy it off you. Like I could easily go and do that, but you never know when that's going to come along, so you can't just wait for that to fall on your lap. So it's just you treat it like as if you're doing it for another client. You're going out there, you're just trying to find another building that the owner, maybe not right now, but in the near term, might consider an unsolicited offer. And it's just, but the only way you're really going to make that prick their ears up is to be serious in that, You can obviously share your background, and you can either go maybe even a bit more, say, motivational and maybe paper something right away and say, look, this is what I would be prepared to offer you. If these things turn out as good as I think they are, this is what I'd be prepared. You could go about it that way if you
Right.
wanted to. I don't think that that's always a bit more risky, obviously. But yeah, I think it would be a matter of I could just tap up into the network or treat it like as if it was a client and go find something fresh. But it's always off market. It always starts with an
Right.
email or a phone call, right? You can't, it's hard. It's really hard to just sort of pick up that phone and take them seriously. Let them to take you seriously that first phone call to be like, who the heck are you?
Right.
Like, I don't know why are you calling me? Why are you offering me this? So sometimes it's good to slow play it a bit just to get them to know who you are a bit before you kind of go in too heavy.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And that's a good point because it's not small numbers you're talking at that point, and
No.
it's way more business mindset than anything else. And so, if you are in that industry, and you're not the first person I've heard say that it's very much a pound the pavement, build relationships. The It's almost as if, would you love to walk in and somebody be ready to sell? Yes, but it's almost suspicious if they're that ready that fast, is kind of the
True.
mindset. Like it's very much you're getting in there, you're building relationships. Where, like you're saying now, actually, as long as you don't stop what you're doing, your dream can come true because you will be in that position with your clients eventually when they want to sell. All right, Nathan, man, I'm getting ready to sell. Okay. Well, what if I just buy that one from you today?
Yeah.
Boom, right? Like, and
Yeah.
that's one thing I love about real estate, and especially when you get to be a realtor. It's like the only industry that encourages insider trading. If you
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
if you can go make it your job, you literally are just working every day, making your money while still participating in the part that you want to do. And I'm always like, yes, I love this, doubling up. I like doing one thing and it does a bunch of things. I'm kind of obsessed with those actions, and real estate has a bunch of them in there where, like, literally showing up for your customers is showing up for you at the same time. My mentor, he calls it paying it forward to your future self. Like, how is what you're doing right now taking care of you later too? And it's just like, ooh, what a fascinating question, whether it's personal or work or whatever it is. Like, how are you doing right now? Because in real estate, and especially your version specifically, it rewards people who can build relationships well and who are going to be there a long time. Because that's what I imagine those investors, and the one that I know, you don't just randomly own those buildings, right? It
No.
took a lifetime and a career to pull those kind of things off. And they're not about to just let some random person come in and represent them on that. Like, that they didn't
Yeah.
get there by accident, right? And that's where that showing up, being that professional, especially. So it's, if you're listening to this and you're interested in commercial real estate, like, and you don't mind pounding phones, that's what it does. Get out there and talk to them, build those relationships. If it's right for you, it'll line up. Now, I also want to say this: if you're out there listening and you're interested in the Canadian market, I try to say this each time. We bring professionals on here for a reason, folks that have been doing what they're doing for a while and know what's going on, because that's who you want to get advice from. So, Nathan, for those that are listening here that'd be interested in touching base with you, tapping into that expertise that you have in your area just by being an investor and now working in it for 5 years, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Always a call first, direct out to my cell. My number, I'm happy to give it. And my email is always a good backup. So my cell is 778-222-8370. And then my email is N for Nathan, Legg at cdnglobal.com.
And how do you spell leg? I'll make sure it's in there, but if someone wrote that, it's 2 G's, right?
You got it. Yeah. Legg with 2 G's.
Perfect. Like I said, if you're listening in, check the show notes for all of Nathan's contact info. We'll make sure it's there. Nathan, again, man, thanks for joining us today. I love
Thanks
your
for having
story,
me.
your perspective. I find it interesting how people get into real estate and then use, again, that past experience to create the life that you want now that's going to launch into that future, man. So also, congrats on getting married this year. Enjoy
Thank you.
that. Looking
Thank you
up
very
for you
much.
there, man. And thanks everybody out there for listening and watching in. If you got value out of today's episode, please like this episode, share it with someone else you think you get value out of it. As always, if you don't follow yet, follow along and subscribe to our podcast. We appreciate every single one of you that are out there with us. We got more conversations coming up with operators just like Nathan out there building a real business in the industry. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you all in the next episode.
Thanks, Micah.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.